Correction of errors in sentences. This question will be given as a 12th bit in the board examination. So this chapter has lot of examples and exercises, and examples and exercises both are equally important if you are preparing for the board examinations. Focusing only on the exercises will make it difficult for you to get all the marks. So you have some 8 different topics here, plus there are some more exercises toward the end of it. So in total you have 315 questions, and out of which 197 are examples and 118 are actually exercises. So we'll take a look at one topic after the other. First, nouns and noun phrases. Look at this. I love antique furnitures. You cannot say this. You should say I love antique furniture. But I would need I would need an advice from an expert. But I would need a piece of advice. See here, furniture. It's an uncountable, so you cannot add s to it. uh, that's why you should use this. Similarly, advice in English, it's it's an uncountable noun. So you, if at all you want to use it like a countable noun, you can use a phrase like this in front of it, like a piece of advice. My knowledge is, this is a made up mistake. Nobody makes a mistake like this. So my knowledge in that area is very poor. Nobody says it. I've never heard anybody say anything like this, however bad their English might be. So there are some examples of uncountable nouns here. Uncountable nouns are nouns that you cannot add the letter s to them. You cannot use them in the plural form. Okay, so these are all the words: scenery, information, news, alphabet, luggage, diesel, wheat, sugar, water, milk, weather, poetry, politics, imagery, toothpaste, and some wrong sentences and right sentences. So you might be given questions from here in the board examination in addition to the exercises, and you'll have to write your sentences answers like this. So I have seen some beautiful sceneries in Ramoji Film City. I have seen some beautiful scenery in Ramoji Film City. I wish I had a better news for you. See here, an article is there. So articles are used before countable nouns, especially a word like a is used before a singular countable noun. So since it's an uncountable noun, it is wrong. You need to drop that article. She bought a toothpaste. Again, she bought a tube of toothpaste. Can you read the Urdu alphabets? So some people, they think this is alphabets means the letters. Uh, they actually think alphabets and letters are one and the same. Alphabets is an alphabet is uh, the set of all the 26 letters. In any language, you will have only one set of letters called alphabet, so you cannot use it in the plural. So there is only one alphabet in English containing 26 letters. So again, there are nouns that are always used in the plural. For example, glasses meaning spectacles, goods, trousers, shorts, jeans, shoes, contents, surroundings, police, premises, savings, and also thanks. Here is your glasses. There's no mistake here, but in the verb here. Here are your glasses. Have you seen the table of content of this textbook? So you say contents of the textbook. So have you seen the table of contents of this textbook? The police is investigating the case. So here, this is a plural noun without the letter S. So you should say the police are investigating the case. Look at the man in blue jean. So this it's not a common error, it's made up error like knowledges. So look at the man in blue jeans. So there are some nouns that look like plurals, but actual meaning is singular. For example, economics, physics, civics, gymnastics, athletics, measles, mumps, politics, news, series. They all end in the letters S, but they're all singular nouns. So there were a series of programs to mark the Telangana Formation Day on the 2nd of June. Here, this is incorrect. You should use was because the subject is singular. Athletics are given more importance nowadays. So, this is singular, so you should use singular verb. Athletics is. Mumps are a kind of disease. So, mumps is a kind of disease. It actually is the name of a disease. So, singular subject, it requires is, not are. So now there are numbers like you see 5 dozen, 10 kilo, 20,000, a 4 mile race. See, these are actually nouns that generally do not change in the plural form as well. For example, you say this box has 12 dozen apples in place of dozens apples. I received 5,000 rupees, not 5,000 rupees from the manager. The athlete ran a 4 mile race. The athlete ran a 4 mile race. And take a look at the correct noun forms. So we say cousin, we don't say cousin brother or cousin sister. So we add the letter S to the actual noun here. So we say brothers in law, not brother in laws. We say sisters in law, not sister in laws. And we say passers by, we don't say passerbys. We say hangers on in place of hanger ons, and lookers on, not looker ons, and governors general, not governor generals. So here this is a main word here, so it's turned into the plural. So men servants, not man servants. Similarly, women servants is wrong, women servants. Then poultry does not exist in English, so sorry, poultry is not there, so you should say poultry. Likewise, uh, you have sheep. This is correct. One sheep, two sheep. There's no such thing as sheeps in English. And similarly, one deer, two deer. Deers is not there in English. So swine. It's the same word is used for both plural and singular. This is not correct. Likewise, offsprings is wrong. Offspring is correct. Offspring is a word for that means children. Now some more examples. So she is my cousin sister. No, she is my cousin. There is a scarcity of man servants nowadays. So you should say men servants. Many passerbys observed the accident. So in place of this, you say many passers-by observed the accident. Most male deer. So it is most male deer have horns like antlers. So there are some more rules here. We say women teachers, but lady doctors, and then we say commanders in chief, but we say toothbrushes. We don't say teeth brush. So a black and white dog is following me. So here, this dog is both black and white at the same time. So single dog is following me. So one dog, same dog is both black and white. So a black and a white dog are following. So you have two dogs here. One is black, the other is white. The principal and the chairman have attended. So here you have an article for this word, and separately you have another article for this word, because these two words refer to two different people. So if you drop this, then it will be one person. Many a man, we say. Okay. So many a man means many people, many men. So many a man was cheated in this way. 800 rupees is too much for a pen. See here, you use singular, though this noun is in the plural because it is considered as a single amount. It's not like, countable noun. Okay, now there is one more rule here. Principle of proximity. What does that mean? Neither he nor his children was arrived. See here, the subject here, it is in the plural form. So you should also use plural here. Okay. So that is the reason why you cannot use this. Neither he nor his children have arrived. Okay. So you can only say have matching this. So actually this should have been uh, has here, not have. This one should have been have, has. Okay, small error here. So yeah, next. More than 1,000 workers is working in the lab. See, you are talking about more than 1,000. See, this is very close to the verb. So you should say more than 1,000 workers are working in the lab. More than one person are. Again, this is singular. So you should say more than one person is working in this lab. Now, second part of the correction of errors in sentences, mistakes related to pronouns. So each of these girls, uh, actually the subject is singular. So each of these girls have wide eyes is wrong. Each of these girls has wide eyes. So this verb must match with the actual subject here and not this one. So let me go home is a correct sentence. After me, you use a base form of the verb. Who is it? It's myself. That is wrong. We say, who is it? It's me. Because myself is a reflexive pronoun. It cannot stand alone as an answer. So neither of these cars are worth the money. The answer is neither of these cars is worth the money, because here you are talking about only one thing at a time, one car at a time. So that is the reason why you should use the verb that matches that single subject here. She and I, we say, she and me are twins, she and I are twins. So I is a subject form, me is the object form. Here she and I, you have a double subject here, so you should use subject form, not object form. One should respect one's teachers. One should respect one's teachers. See, his teachers is wrong, one's teachers is correct, because the word one, it does not refer to any gender specifically. So saying his is incorrect. We don't know the gender. So one should respect one's teachers. Even in question tags, we have the same sort of thing. One must respect one's teachers, mustn't one? It's like that. So you should have the same word as here. One of my classmates are an officer in the army. The question is, this is a subject actually. You are referring to only one person among all your classmates. So one of my classmates is an officer in the Indian Army. Both didn't attend the meeting. So you don't use like this. You say neither attended the meeting. But if it is a statement, I mean positive statement, you can say both. Like both attended the meeting, but neither attended the meeting. Sharma plays cricket better than me. This is absolutely correct in day to day language, spoken English, but they want you to use some, formal English. Sharma plays cricket better than I do. Okay, do is understood, it is not expressed. You should use I there. We all didn't go. Again, we don't use all like this in a negative sentence. We say none of us went there. But if it were a positive sentence, we can say we all went. Who did this? Myself. We have already discussed this. Myself is a reflexive pronoun, and it cannot stand as the answer to the question. You should use I. Any one of these boys are sent for pilot training. So two boys, right? So when there are two people, you use either or neither, either for positive, neither for negative. So you should use either here because it's a positive statement. Either of these two boys is sent for pilot training. I haven't got some pens. Some is used in the positive statements. So that's why you should use any here. I haven't got any pens. If I were him, I wouldn't have played the game. Again, these also perfect in everyday English, but in formal English, you are expected to use he instead of him because the grammar says that the word were is a B form. It's one of the B forms, and since it's a B form, it does not take an object actually. So since it doesn't take an object, you cannot have an object form. You need to have subject form here. Sheila and Nancy like one another. So there are only two people. So you say Sheila and Nancy like each other. When there are more than two people, you say one another. Only they who have passes will be allowed. So we don't say only those. We don't say only they. We say only those who have passes will be allowed. Every woman raised uh, their voice not correct because you are referring to one person at a time. So this pronoun must match this. This is possessive pronoun working like an adjective for the noun here. So next, my neighbor that works in a bank has gone to Mumbai. So this is not a regular common mistake. It's a made up mistake. Nobody says anything like that. We use the word who to refer to people and that to refer to things. So next, drink water which tastes better. Drink water that tastes better. So you use the word that in defining clauses. You are actually here defining which type of water you should drink. So this word is generally used after a comma. Okay, there is no comma here. Especially when you are giving some additional information, you put a comma, then you start with which, and then you put a comma and then continue the sentence. So again, there's a common mistake, real common mistake. I've seen many students using apostrophe unnecessarily. So apostrophe is not used with pronouns. This is a pronoun, so you don't use an apostrophe. Apostrophe is used with names. For example, my name. So you can say Sadanand's. Okay, so like that. Now the mistakes in adjectives, in the use of adjectives. Ravi is elder than Ali. Ravi is older than Ali. So you use elder and eldest to talk about family only. Okay. Otherwise, you can use older. He is my older brother. Uh, it is generally considered correct, even if you are referring to your family member. But in a formal setting, you must say elder brother. If you write this answer, then you will not get the mark because the question itself, if you write as an answer, you will not get the answer. So make it elder. So elder is used to talk about family members. Shrika is senior than Srihan. So already in prepositions we learned that senior to is used. Shrika is senior to Srihan, senior to or junior to, superior to, inferior to. So all these four words are followed by to. So the placement of both or all. His both sons are lawyers. No, we use at the beginning. Both his sons are lawyers. Then similarly here also, these all mangoes are ripe. No, we say all these mangoes are ripe. I lost my all belongings. No, I lost all my belongings. So the word both or all, these are called predeterminers. They are used at the beginning. Now, the difference between less and fewer. So, less is used to talk about degree or quantity. Fewer is used to talk about countable number. For example, see, books are countable, right? So, you cannot use less here. There are no less than 10,000 books in the library. Wrong. There are no fewer than 10,000 books in the library. And again, comparative and superlative forms here. See here, she is worse than her cousin. So you are talking about only two people, so you should say worse. She is worse than her cousin. Only comparative form is used when you talk about only two people. The picture is the best of the two. Again, since only two things are involved, you should say better. The picture is the better of the two. He is more better than she. So this is redundancy. Unnecessarily you are using two comparatives. True. So drop one of them. The first one. He is better than she. Okay. You feel like saying her here. Don't say that. She is, this is understood. This is the most best book. No, you cannot say. You should say this is the best book. This is the most best book I have read. This is the best book I have read. Virat Kohli is better than any cricketer in India. You should use any other. Virat Kohli is better than any other cricketer in India. Why should you use other? Because if you don't use this sentence means he is, since Virat Kohli is also cricketer. When you say is better than any cricketer, that includes Virat Kohli. It means he is better than himself also, which does not make sense. So you should exclude himself from the group of people you are comparing with by using this word other. So this excludes Virat Kohli from the group you are comparing him with. This is the strongest of any other metal. So this is the strongest of all metals. You say all metals, of all metals. So we don't say this. We use any other when you're comparing two people or things. And some more adjective errors. She has been helping the poor. So this is an adjective, so you don't have the S. The two first chapters. No, you cannot have two first chapters. Okay. The first two chapters are very interesting. Not the two first chapters are very interesting. I'm hopeless about his success is considered incorrect. I have no hope of his success. This is a tricky question. You need to remember this. She was not smart. It's a common mistake. You can find out that she was not smart earlier. So uh, this is a worth reading novel. No, this is a novel worth reading. He hasn't written, obvious mistake, not much stories. He hasn't written many stories. Open your book at 6 page. No, we say open your book at page 6. We say page 5, page 10, platform number 8. Okay, this is a best book. No, this is a very good book. So actually, you can say the best book. This is the best book. But since you have this as an answer in your textbook, don't write that, only write this. Ooty is cool. No, you can actually understand the mistake. Ooty is cool than Tirupati. Ooty is cooler than Tirupati. So you need comparative form. I paid him rupees 100. No, we say I paid him 100 rupees. Now the mistakes in the use of articles. So my brother is working in tribal area. My brother is working in a tribal area. Because area is a countable noun, you should say an area or a tribal area. So a tribal area is the right answer. I have an urgent business. I have urgent business because business is a countable noun. Sorry, uncountable noun. So saying uh, good news is wrong. We have seen it earlier. Similarly, saying an urgent business is also wrong. You should Drop this, you can't use a or an before uncountable nouns like this. Kaleshwaram project is built on Godavari. Kaleshwaram built project is built on the Godavari because before names of rivers we have already seen that we use the. Moon is very bright today. The moon is very bright today. Unique things the. I shall be visiting UK next month. I shall be visiting the UK next month. So the United Kingdom, the United States of America. So uh, Himalayas form the northern boundary of India. The Himalayas form the northern boundary of India. So mountain ranges, you should use the. And we should love the nature. We should love nature. So when you refer to something in a very general way like this, you can't use the here. Similarly, proper noun. The Calcutta is a big city. So Calcutta is a big city. You don't use the when you use proper nouns. They can be names of people or places like this. I have read Ramayana thrice. I have read the Ramayana thrice. So you use the before names of holy books, very popular books. David goes to the church every Sunday. So David goes to church every Sunday. So you should not use any article, especially when you visit church just for prayer. So the gold is a precious metal. Gold is a precious metal. So you are talking about gold in a general way. So no article is used. He can play sitar well. He can play the sitar well. So the rule is that whenever you're talking about playing a musical instrument, the use of the is common. Lion is the king of bass. The lion is the king of bass. The lion means all lions in general. I had the lunch at noon. I had lunch at noon. So we don't use articles before names of meals. We say I had lunch. I met my friend at college. Wrong. I met my friend at the college. I mean, on the premises. Now, the mistakes in the use of verbs. So, when the subject is singular like this, like one, each, every, whenever a sentence starts with one of these words, you require a singular verb. So, when two nouns joined by and this word expressing one idea, again, then also you use singular verb. For example, one of my friends have gone to the UAE. One of my friends has gone because subject is singular. We use singular here. One of my friends has gone to the UAE. Each of the girls were given the medals. Each of the girls was given the medal. Every one of the workers have stayed away from work. Every one of the workers has stayed away from work. So subject is singular, you need singular verb here. Neither of the participants were able to win the match. Neither of the participants was able to win the match. Why was is correct? Because the subject is singular. Age and experience bring wisdom to man. Age and experience brings wisdom to man. So age and experience is considered a single thought and idea. It's considered a single subject, singular subject. So it requires singular verb. Bread and butter are my favorite breakfast. Bread and butter is my favorite breakfast. So this is a single idea, single meal. So is required here. So where you are going, so when you are asking question, make sure that all the words are in the right order. Where are you going? When you will come here again? When will you come here again? So this sort of sentences are often heard in regular speech, but these are correct ones. Now he asked me if I am going to Dubai. He asked me if I was going to Dubai. See, This actually happened in the past, so you should use some relevant past tense here, not a present tense. I asked her if she is learning to dance. So same mistake here also. You should use past because this is past tense. Now some mistakes in question tags. You are married, aren't you? I like swimming. I like skating, don't I? So when there is no auxiliary, you use a form of do, but it is positive, so you need a negative question tag. So now, as I was ill, so I could not go. You have two conjunctions. You just need one to connect these two sentences. So you can say, as I was ill, I could not go. Or you can also say, I was ill, so I could not go. Both Hari as well as Krishna came to see me. Now, both Hari, we say and, not as well as. Okay, both Hari and Krishna came to see me. Or you can say Hari as well as Krishna came to see me. You cannot combine both and as well as. She said that she saw him last night. She said that she had seen him last night. While learning tenses, we learned that you use past perfect referring to earlier of the two past actions. The train left before I arrived. The train had left before I arrived. So, since you are talking about the first action in the past, the earlier action you should use past perfect just like here. I had been to Vijayawada yesterday. Answer is I went to Vijayawada yesterday. So when you are referring to only one event in the past, one action in the past, you should use only past simple. Okay. Now word choice with verbs. I took my supper is not a standard phrase. You say I had my supper. So similarly, he knows to swim, not considered correct. The answer is he knows how to swim. But this sort of structure can be found in a lesson titled Father, Dear Father, in which the author uses the same structure maybe some 2 3 times. She cut her pencil. This is a made up mistake. Nobody makes a mistake like this. She sharpened her pencil. I said to him to go. No, we say I told him to go. He gave a speech. He made a speech. I've highlighted in red because both are correct actually. Neither is wrong. So we can say gave a speech. You might have heard of these expressions earlier. He gave a speech. Don't give me a speech. So both are correct. Neither wrong. So saying that this is wrong, they want you to write this, and you should write only this when you get this question. Okay. So he made a lecture. No, we don't say like that. This is definitely wrong sentence. He gave a lecture. You can say he gave a lecture. He gave a speech, but you cannot say. But this is fine. He made a speech is correct, but he made a lecture is not correct. So my tooth is paining. So we say aching. Uh, he made a goal, he scored a goal. So it's not correct again there. This is actually called uh, collocation, word collocation. Words, they always go together. For example, you say, I made a mistake, but you can't say, I did a mistake. This is a true translation from your mother tongue saying, I did a mistake. Okay, the mistakes made in adverbs. I'm too glad to see you. It's not correct. You should say, I'm very glad to see you. Here, this expression now conveys a negative meaning. It means something like, I'm so glad that I cannot see you. Okay, the coffee is very hot to drink. Again, the coffee is too hot to drink. She is very much sorry. Simply, we say she is very sorry. You are leaving back your bag. No, you are leaving behind your bag. He can lift it by and by. No, it means gradually. You can lift it little by little. Okay, then we scarcely see a lion. Uh, we don't say anything like this scarcely. We say we rarely see a lion. He behaved cowardly. No, cowardly is an adjective actually. Okay, so you should say he behaved in a cowardly manner. Cowardly is an adjective, so this is a noun, so you write it like this. Okay, Sarojini Naidu was called as the Nightingale of India. This is not required. Sarojini Naidu was called the Nightingale of India. She works very hardly. No, she works very hard. Actually, if you keep it here, she hardly works. It means she doesn't work almost. He speaks very good. No, he speaks very well. Well actually modifies this action. So you need this. Good actually describes a person or a thing. So here, that's why it is wrong. His version is somewhat true. No, his version is partly true. He speaks the truth always. He always speaks the truth. The word always, often, these words, they go before the verbs. He comes to me often. No, he often comes to me. Most likely the shops will remain closed tomorrow. The answer is most probably the shops will remain closed. So the next thing, the whole India is proud of his achievement. We say the whole of India is proud of his achievement. So this is actually an adjective. That's the reason why you cannot use it. This is probably is an adverb. So you actually are modifying the meaning of the verb here with an adverb. So because it ends in the letters ly, you think it's an adverb. No, it's an adjective. Okay, so adjectives cannot modify verbs like this. So similarly, we don't say the whole India, we say the whole of India, meaning all the people of India are proud of his achievement. Okay, next, the mistakes made in prepositions. He divided his property between his three sons. No, he divided his property among his three sons. So, among is used when there are more than two people involved. Vijaya sat among Razia and Aruna. This is a made up mistake. Nobody makes a mistake like this. Vijaya sat between Razia and Aruna. So between when there are two people, you must discuss about the matter among yourselves. You must discuss the matter among yourselves. So discuss requires no preposition at all. Discuss actually means talk about already. So when you say you must discuss the matter, it means you must talk about the matter. And some more mistakes. I have ordered for three dishes. No, I have ordered three dishes. So order means asked for. You don't need for again. He entered into the hall. No, he entered the hall. Why? Entered means went into. The meaning of into is already there. So you don't need one more. She has married with her cousin. She has married her cousin. So married is not followed by any preposition. We are awaiting for the train. So the answer is we are awaiting the train or we are waiting for the train, because awaiting means waiting for. So that's the reason why for is not required. He has been suffering with corona. We say he has been suffering from corona. Suffer and from, they go together. She covered her head by a shawl. She covered her head with a shawl. So with a shawl is better, not by. They waited 3 hours. They waited for 3 hours. Because you are talking about the duration, you should use it. But this is considered informal. Many people use sentences like this. I inquired her where her husband was. I inquired of her. Remember, of is used after inquired, because this is an indirect object. I inquired of her where her husband was. He went for riding. You can say he went riding or he went for a ride. So this is not a usual expression. She is called with different names. She is called by different names. So call by is a standard expression. Sign the document with ink. Now sign the document in ink. So you sign the document with a tool like a pen or a pencil, but with a material like ink, you say in ink, in pencil. Sign the doc. You can't sign the document in pencil. You must sign it in ink. So this is a comfortable house to live. Uh, Something is missing here. This is a comfortable house to live in. I filled water in the bucket. No, I filled the bucket with water. Okay, so you cannot fill water actually, you can only fill the bucket. I shall explain them this. This is not correct. I shall explain this to them. Okay, I traveled by my principal's car. No, I traveled in my principal's car. See, you have these expressions, right? If you don't have these two words, then it will be correct. Like I traveled by car is correct because you have a noun, adjective phrase here. You cannot use by, you should use in. She was accused for stealing a gold ring. She was accused of stealing a gold ring. Accused is followed by of. He congratulated me for my success. No. Remember, congratulate is always followed by in. We have seen it in prepositions earlier. He congratulated me on my success. She got down the bus at Mancherial. She got down from the bus at Mancherial. So we say got down from the bus. But even more natural than this is off she got off the bus at Mancherial. So, but since this is given in the exam, textbook, use only this. I don't agree for your proposal. I don't agree to your proposal. So you agree to a proposal. You agree with somebody. This road. This is a this is a road to go. No, this is a road to go by. Now the mistakes in conjunctions. Though he is fat, but he runs fast. See here, you have two conjunctions here. You don't need two. Though he is fat, he runs fast. Scarcely had he gone than the phone rang. Scarcely had he gone when the phone rang. Remember, scarcely is followed by when. So that means that there is not much, there wasn't much difference between these guys leaving and the phone ringing. So they took place almost simultaneously. So no sooner had he gone when the officer came. Answer, no sooner had he gone than the officer came. So you say sooner than, right? So that is the reason why. Sooner than and also scarcely when. She is not only beautiful but intelligent. So also is missing here. She is not only beautiful but also intelligent. I doubt that he will get through the exam. You should say, I doubt whether he will get through the exam. So you have a doubt about, whether this will, take place or whether he'll be able to get through the exams or not. He was handsome, but everyone admired him. So this introduces generally a negative clause. So that is the reason why, since this is a positive one, you should use and here. He was handsome, and everyone admired him. You're not trying. You're not right nor wrong. So you're neither right nor wrong. You should use neither nor properly before each word. Wait while I come. No, wait till I come. So while is used to talk about two simultaneous actions. Like while I waited, he prepared food. Unless you do not cry, again this is not correct. Unless you try, okay? So unless you do not try, you will never succeed. Unless you try, you will never succeed. But here you can actually use if you do not try, you will never succeed. Here you can actually use if here, it'll be the right sentence. But since this is already given in your textbook, you must use only this to get the mark. City life is tense and village life is relaxed. So here this there is a negative sentence here, and here contrast is shown in the next part. So you need the word but. City life is tense but village life is relaxed. Then, after all these topics, you find a list of common errors. Now, take a look at this. A bouquet of yellow roses lend color and fragrance. That is wrong. A bouquet of yellow roses lends color and fragrance. So, the subject is a bouquet actually. This is a real subject, singular subject. So, it requires singular verb. Next, here is the keys. The subject is keys. So we say here are the keys. 2 miles are too far to walk. 2 miles is too far to walk. So though this noun ends in the letter S, it is not considered, two things. Actually, it's a distance. So it is a singular thing. So if I was a bird, I would fly. This is mostly used by many people with and still considered correct. But since it's an examination, you need to use were in a formal way. If I were a bird, I would fly. So I wish it were Sunday. We have already seen sentences like this earlier in tenses, conditionals, and all the staff are here, all the staff is here. So if you consider all these members as a single unit, the answer is, though this is also considered correct in the US English. The captain with his men were killed. The captain with his men was killed. Why was is correct? Because whatever you see after the word with is parenthetical. Parenthetical matlab you can actually ignore this altogether. Now, if you ignore this, the subject is singular. So you say the captain was killed. He is 2 day. It is a 2 days program. We say it is a 2 day program. Actually, there should be a hyphen between these two words, small hyphen, which is missing here. But then this is how it is given in the textbook. Okay, let's go to the next one. Uh, Neither he came nor he wrote. No, neither did he come nor did he write. So this is neither and nor. If they are used at the beginning, you should use this inversion. It is used for emphasizing, for highlighting. So if you want to use it in a normal way, you can say something like he neither came nor wrote. He neither came nor wrote. That's the usual way. But if you want to use neither at the beginning, it has to have this question like pattern. Neither did he come nor did he write. It is used to emphasize the fact that he didn't come and he didn't write either. One of my friend is here. So you know what mistake you have here. One of my friends is here. Okay, so then he enjoyed at the party. The answer is he enjoyed himself at the party. So enjoyed is it requires an object, so himself is compulsory. But then we enjoy the party is also fine, but then don't write it because this is what you are given and you must write what is given in the textbook to get the mark. So he is in class 10th. No, we say he is in class 10. Then he gave his exam. Answer is he took his exam because as a student you take exams and as a teacher I give exams. But some Hindi speaking people, because they say dena, So they tend to use gave when they speak English. I gave a test today, which is incorrect. I took a test. Okay. Columbus invented. So inventing is creating. So Columbus did not create America. It simply discovered America. So Edison discovered the electricity bulb. No, it was not something that was already lying. He did not discover, actually he created it. Edison invented the electric bulb. Never I have seen such a mess. Never have I seen such a mess. So never, if it is used at the beginning, you should have this question like pattern. For emphasis purpose we use this. We have already seen this sort of sentences earlier. Okay, should I cut this word? Should I erase this word? This is a made up question, actually made up mistake. He asked a help. No, he asked for help. Nobody says anything like this. And a help is, not a correct expression, because help is uncountable noun. They insisted to pay. No, they insisted on paying. So this is a standard expression. You say insisted on going, instead of insisted on waiting, etc. Choose the best of the two options. Choose the better of the two options. Since there are only two things, you should use comparative form. He went to foreign. No, he went abroad. Some Hindi speaking people, they use the word foreign gaye the, as if that is a place. But it is very common in Hindi. But you say he went abroad. So but you can say he went to a foreign country, you can say, because it's an adjective actually. I asked a question to him. No, I asked him a question. We are doing yoga every day. We do yoga every day. Since it's a, this is a clue here. It's a usual, habitual action. That's why we use do instead of are doing. All the roads are covered by snow? No. All the roads are covered with snow. He does not care for my words. He pays no attention to what I say. This is the intended meaning. So you need to say it like this. Maybe some other answers are possible, but still you must write what is given here rather than what you think is correct. Now, we'll take a look at the remaining exercise, some 115 sentences or so we have in exercises. I'll take you to the key directly. So, the first exercise, the news of the earthquake has spread like a fire. So, the news of the earthquake has spread like a fire. Why this is correct? Because the subject is singular, the verb must also be singular and uncountable. Okay, so uh, yeah, this is actually it's a singular, it's an uncountable noun. This is actually one of the questions we saw at the very beginning of this chapter. Keep your surroundings clean. It's a made up question. Nobody makes a mistake like this. The man in blue jeans, in my brother. So we always say jeans, plural, always plural. So the first innings is over. Innings is always used in the singular as a singular noun, and the form is plural. We must express thanks. Okay, we must express thanks to those who help us. Economics are an interesting subject. Economics is an interesting subject because this has a plural form, but it is actually singular subject, so it requires singular verb. Athletics are an interesting sport. Athletics is an interesting sport. Just like economics, athletics is also uh, a noun, singular noun with a uh, with a plural form. Measles are a dangerous disease. Measles is a dangerous disease. This word has a plural form, but it is singular, so it requires singular verb. Ocean sands are not used for construction. Ocean sand is not used for construction. Sand is uncountable, so you should use sand. The sceneries of Darjeeling are very beautiful. The scenery of Darjeeling is very beautiful. The word scenery is uncountable, so you cannot add s to it as we have seen earlier in the beginning. And if you see the next one, C.V. Raman's knowledges of all branches of physics are abnormal. Now, you need to correct this also. C.V. Raman's knowledge of all branches of physics is extraordinary. So, knowledge is uncountable noun, so you should also use singular verb here. You should drop the letter S here. So, mouses have spoiled the crop. Mice have spoiled the crop. So it has got an irregular plural form. So mice is the right answer. There are five women in the team. I think you all know the right answer is women. You don't add s to it. Instead, you change the vowel here to make it a plural noun. There are five women in the team. We should wash our foods before coming into the house. We should wash our feet before coming into the house. So this feet is the irregular plural of the word foot. So you don't add s to it. He has many sheep. So the same word is used both in singular and plural forms. So questions from pronouns. Every men are responsible for this situation. Every man is responsible for this situation. So every is followed by generally singular noun and it requires singular verb. This is a singular noun, singular verb. Each of them were given a gift. Each of them was given a gift. So each is singular and it requires singular verb. Students must avail the opportunities. Uh, Students must avail themselves of the opportunities. So this is a standard phrase. Avail is followed by oneself, myself, herself, themselves, then the word of. The two players blamed one another for their defeat. The two players blamed each other for their defeat. So since there are only two people, we use each other. All Indians must respect each other. All Indians must respect one another because there are more than two people, so we use one another. Yourself are responsible for future. So the word you are responsible for your future. So yourself cannot be used as a subject because it's a reflexive pronoun. You should use you. There are no less than 10 employed persons in the village. There are no fewer than 10 employed persons in their village. So, less is used to talk about uncountable nouns like less sugar, less oil, less water. Fewer is used with nouns that are countable, like fewer employed people, fewer biscuits, etc. He and me are brothers. He and I are brothers. You need a subject pronoun because it is the subject here. Divide the piece of bread between him and me. There is no mistake here at all. Divide the piece of bread between him and me. So it's not I, it is still me only. Perfectly correct answer here. My three sisters like each other. My three sisters like one another. So we use one another when there are more than two people. As there are only few students, I can interact with them easily. As there are only a few students, I can interact with them easily. So a few has a positive meaning. It means some students, but if you use without a, simply few students, almost no students, negative meaning it is. That is the reason why a few students is correct here. So my all friends are very active. All my friends are very active. So the word all is a predeterminer. It should come at the beginning. Gandhi is more truthful than any political leader. Gandhi is more truthful than any other political leader. So you need any other, because if you don't use other, it means Gandhi is, since Gandhi is also a political leader, and when you say Gandhi is more truthful than any political leader, this includes himself. It means Gandhi is more truthful than himself also. That is the reason why you should exclude Gandhi from the group you are comparing him with. Then it will convey the right meaning. This is taller than many buildings in Hyderabad. So same reason as before. This is taller than many other buildings in Hyderabad. So Raghu is my older brother. So Raghu is my elder brother, elder for family members. We use that. So Sania Mirza is more popular than any tennis player. So same reason as above, Sania Mirza is more popular than any other tennis player. The streets of Hyderabad are wider than Warangal. The answer is the streets of Hyderabad are wider than those of Warangal. So you need to compare, parallelly. For example, streets of Hyderabad. How can you compare the streets with a city or a town like this? So you should compare the streets of Hyderabad with the streets of Warangal with those of Warangal. Of the two of the two, this is the best article. Of the two, this is the better article. So better is used for comparison of two. So Suma is a popular anchor. This is a made up mistake. Suma is a popular anchor. So because it starts with a consonant sound. Our apartment is on third floor. Our apartment is on the third floor. So ordinal numbers like third, fourth, fifth, we use the word the. I waited for a hour. I waited for an hour. So this is vowel sound. It starts with a vowel sound. So you use an there. Sun rises in east. The sun rises in the east. So you use the word the before unique objects and directions. Onions cost rupees 40 rupees kilogram. So here this is missing. Onions cost 40 rupees a kilogram, means per year. When Rome was burning, Nero is playing on the flute. When Rome was burning, Nero was playing on the flute. So why should you use past continuous? Because you are talking about two parallel actions in the past. So you cannot use present continuous, uh, while here you use past continuous here. They are staying in the same flat for the last many years. They have been staying in the same flat for the last many years. So because you are referring to a period of time here, you must use present perfect continuous tense like have been staying. How long are you waiting here? No, this is not correct. How long have you been waiting here? Meaning, when did you come here? How long ago did you reach here? He is interested to do a job. This is again a made up question. He is interested in doing a job. They have moved to the new house last week. Uh, they moved to the new house last week. So we are referring to a past event. So we must use past simple. It is wrong to use present perfect. He is having many imported clothes. Again, he has many important clothes. So here this is wrong because the word have means ownership or possession. So in continuous form you cannot use it like I'm having the textbook. No, I have the textbook. As soon as I open the doors, the birds fly away. Like that Nero example, you should use flew away. As soon as I opened the doors, the birds flew away. So you need to use past tenses for both the actions. If I will stand on my own legs, my parents will feel happy. No. If I stand on my own legs, my parents will feel happy. So in the if part of the sentence, we use present simple. It is type 1 conditional. After if, we use simple present, stand, not future simple. We have already discussed this in the tenses part. If you consult me, I would have advised you to do, I would have advised you what to do. So here the mistake is this. If you had consulted me, I would have advised you, I would have advised you what to do. So it's a type 3 conditional we discussed earlier. So here you use past perfect in the if part, and in the main part we say would have done. He is visiting the library daily. He visits the library. He visits the library daily. You use simple present visits for habits. She enjoys to sing patriotic songs. She enjoys singing patriotic songs. Enjoy is followed by a gerund. What is a gerund? In form of any verb, or you can also use a noun here, but here choosing infinitive is not used. You use an ing form, and when you used in sentences like this, you call it a gerund. Gerund means semi noun, noun like. Why you were absent yesterday? Why were you absent yesterday? So here the sentence is not like a question, there should be inversion here. He walks very fastly. He walks very fast. Fastly does not exist in English. We don't hardly believe it. We hardly believe it. So there are two negatives here. Don't is one negative, hardly is one more negative. So that's the reason why it's better to drop don't. We hardly believe it. They don't do anything careful. It's a made up mistake. They don't do anything carefully. She scarce blames others. Again, made up mistake. She scarcely blames others. So you need to have this adverb, not an adjective. He is walking very slow. No, he is walking very slowly. Slowly is an adverb form of this adjective. The property was divided between the four brothers. The property was divided among the four brothers. So when there are more than two people, you use among. I prefer fruits than sweets. I prefer fruits to sweets. So you use prefer and to. It's a standard phrase. He is afraid with darkness. He is afraid of darkness. It's a standard phrase. Beside being a poet, Tagore is a short story writer. So the answer is besides being a poet, Tagore is a short story writer. Now, besides means in addition to or addition, additional, in addition to. Uh, so beside is a preposition. Beside means next to. The shops will be open between 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. The shops will be open between 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. So between A and B we say. From A to B, between A and B. So between and, this is a phrase. And from and to, that's a different phrase. You cannot combine between with two. This is different to that. This is different from that. Different from is a standard phrase you need to remember. She resembles uh, she resembles to her. No, she resembles her mother. So looks like her mother. So it doesn't need any preposition. I was prevented to do my work. I was prevented from doing my work. So we use prevented, then from, then ing form, which is called a gerund. Either you must take up a job or start a business. You must either take up a job or start a business. So you actually either or, it's a conjunction after which you should use proper parallelism should be there. See here, either, then you have a verb here. After or also you should have a verb, either take up or start. You cannot mix up like this. You cannot start a sentence like this. Neither she drinks tea nor coffee. Again, this is also wrong, just like before. Neither does she drink tea nor does she drink coffee. When you use at the very beginning some negative words like this, it is for the sake of emphasis to highlight, what is happening or what happened. So to convey that, you use inversion, question word order. So neither does she drink tea nor does she drink coffee. Or you can say something like, she neither drinks tea nor coffee. She drinks neither tea nor coffee is a normal sentence, but then because it starts with neither, you should follow the same structure. They asked me that where SBI was. You don't need to cook conjunctions here. They asked me where SBI was. Sheila is as proud like a peacock. So as proud as is a standard expression, as and as we use it for comparisons. Sheila is as proud as peacock. Now, very good morning. This is incorrect, at least as far as the textbook is concerned. The correct answer is good morning. Why do they say it is incorrect? Uh, because it's not a standard expression among native speakers. But here we often use very good morning to say good morning in a very polite way. So, what is your good name? Again, the same as before. So, we always, are in the habit of using good to be just polite, to sound polite. So, we say, what is your name? Straightforward. Why you are late today? So, the inversion is not there, though it is a question. The answer is, why are you late today? The staff meeting has been preponed. Preponed is an Indian expression, many people use it, but the correct expression is advanced. The staff meeting has been advanced. I'll report it to the concerned teacher. So I will report it to the teacher concerned. So concerned teacher means worried teacher is not happy. I will report it to the teacher concerned means the one who is in charge. So that is the reason why the word concerned should be after the noun that it describes. We go home by walk. So by walk is not a standard expression. We say on foot. We go home on foot. I do not know what is your name. Again, it is like a question, but it is not a question. Does it have a question mark? No. So I do not know what your name is. So you need to use indirect question word order. He went to the back side of the house. He went to the back of the house. So you should change this to this. We have to take care of the females in our family. When you are referring to human beings, you cannot say females. We have to say we have to take care of the women in our family. So, in a general way, you cannot use females. Only in treating people in a hospital or something, we use it. Please bring your luggages here. Please bring your luggage here. Luggage is uncountable. So how can you add s to it? This road is more shorter than that. This road is shorter than that. Here you have two comparative forms. So this is not correct. You can drop one of them, the first one. We often chit chat with our friends. We often chat with our friends. Chit chat is informal expression. It is still there, but they still it is considered informal. So the formal expression is we often chat with our friends. Please shut the TV. Please turn off the TV. We say shut for doors and windows. I and my wife went to a movie. My wife and I went to a movie. So the word I comes last, in a polite usage. You take the other people's names first and your name later in the last, just to be polite with them. Mohan and myself will come. So the answer is Mohan and I will come, because myself is a reflexive pronoun that cannot stand as the subject. I should be used. I'm having a scooter. Answer, I have a scooter, because we have already discussed this. We cannot use I am having when you are referring to ownership. But other ways, this is fine. For example, I'm having breakfast, I'm having lunch, he's having a shower. They're all correct because they are referred to actions. But here it does not refer to any action. I have a scooter means I am in the possession of a scooter. This costed me a lot. This cost me a lot. So the word cost has an irregular past. You cannot add ed to it. I doubt that he will succeed. I doubt whether he will succeed. We have seen earlier also whether in examples. So doubt is followed by whether in standard English. We are living in Bangalore since 2015. We have been living in Bangalore since 2015. So we use in place of are have been when we talk about the duration. Whenever we use since plus the starting point, we use uh, present perfect continuous tense have been living in place of are living present continuous. We've already seen that. We have a lot of furnitures in our house. We have a lot of furniture in our house. So since furniture is uncountable, as you have seen in the beginning, you cannot add s to it. They asked what was my name. They asked what my name was. So the indirect question or word order is used when you are reporting a question. This is what was my name is like a question. Because it's not a question, you should use a statement of form. We elected Ram as president. So we don't use as, we use elect, then the person's name, then the complement, here president or whatever. This article is made with cotton. This article is made of cotton. So here you are referring to the material. We look forward to meeting the minister. So meeting is the expression. This is a standard expression. Look forward to plus gerund. Gerund means inform of verb as a noun. I know them for the last many years. See here, because of this phrase, I have known them for many years, you should say. If you don't use this, say you don't use this at all, then this will be correct. I know them, but I have known them for many years. Why is she hating classical music? Why does she hate classical music? Hate is a stative verb. It does not really involve any action. That is the reason why you cannot use ing form. This one. It is raining since yesterday. It has been raining since yesterday. So, since phrase, whenever you are referring to something, some action that started in the past and it is that is still going on, you should use has been in place of is. This is present continuous tense. This is present perfect continuous tense. I am good in English. I am good at English. The standard phrase is good at. If cleanliness will be maintained, we will be healthy. If cleanliness is maintained, we will be healthy. So this is a type 1 conditional. In the if part, we use simple present. If part of the sentence, we use present simple, not future simple. We have seen it in the tenses. We had seen them 2 weeks ago. We saw them 2 weeks ago. When you are referring to just one action in the past, use past simple. This is unnecessary. He has hanged his coat to a nail. So he has hung his coat to a nail. So you use the word hung when you are referring to things. But if it is a person who has been hanged, you use the word hanged. The criminal has been hanged. Okay. So all banks are open from 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. So all banks are open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So from and to, it's a fixed phrase. So if you use from, then use to here. If you use between, you use and here. Between and. He is not an expert in grammar, isn't it? He is not an expert in grammar, is he? So it's a negative statement, and also you need to refer to this person again. Positive tag. Children are fond of chocolate. Children are fond for chocolate. It's nobody uses that. Many people, they know it instinctively that it is fond of. Fond of is correct. Would you mind to open the door? Would you mind opening the door? So after mind we use ing form of the verb, gerund they call it. Did you went to school yesterday? Did you go to school yesterday? So after did we use the first form, the base form of the verb, not the second form. She explained me the matter. No, she explained the matter to me. So explain takes this direct object. You cannot use indirect object here. So this is the order: explain, object, to plus then person. Are you really interested with English grammar? This is also made up mistake. Are you really interested in English grammar? Bring me half glass water. Bring me half a glass of water. You see, half a glass we say. Half a glass. Every Sunday we go to the church. Every Sunday we go to church. These not required when we go to church for prayer. He plays tennis, isn't he? He plays tennis, doesn't he? So here, this is a positive sentence with no auxiliary, as we've already seen question in question tags. We use do does in present. The river has overflown over its banks. The river has overflowed its banks. So flow, flowed, flowed. It is a regular verb. Okay, so that is not corrective. Fly, flew, flown. You'll find there, but it is not that. I returned back from London. I returned from London. So returned back. Actually, returned itself means came back. And you don't need one more back. That's the reason why you need to drop this. A bend in the end is not an end of the road. A bend in the road is not the end of the road. So the end of the road. So the definite article is required because you are talking about something definite. I must change my clothes at once. I must change my clothes at once. So clothes are actually garments. Cloths are piece of cloth. Next, you have some more questions in the model paper. I think they're all there in the questions also in these exercises. Athletics is my favorite sport in place of R. When did the meeting begins? When did the meeting begin? After did we use first form? Amala is senior than me. Amala is senior to me. We've already seen that all these four words are followed by to. He sings good. No, he sings well. He boasts about his willpower. So he uh, boasts of his boasts of his willpower. Boasts about this is not a standard expression, but many people use it. But this is a standard expression. Though he is fat, still he runs fast. You have two conjunctions here. Though he is fat, he runs fast. So you cannot use them both, only one is required. Now, finally, this is how the questions are given in the board examination. What you see is from the model paper found at the end of your textbook. You get 6 questions. You will be asked to answer any four for 4 marks. Each right answer carries 1 mark. Though you are asked to write only four, write all the 6 answers so that you get all your full 4 of 4 marks even if you make one or two mistakes.